You who, listen, give me life, in a manner of speaking. I won't hold you responsible. My first words weren't my first words. I wish I'd begun differently. You, among other things, I haven't a proper name. The one I bear is misleading, if not false. I didn't choose it either. I don't recall asking to be conceived, neither did my parents come to think of it. Even so, score to be settled, children are vengeance. I seem to have known myself from the beginning without knowing what I knew. No news is good news. Perhaps I'm mistaken. Now that I reflect, I'm not enjoying this life, my link with the world. My situation appears to me as follows. I speak in a curious, detached manner, and don't necessarily hear myself. I'm grateful for small mercies. Whether anyone follows me, I can't tell. Are you there? If so, I'm blind and deaf to you, or you are me, and both are both. One may be imaginary. I've had stranger ideas. I hope I'm a fiction without real hope. Where there's a voice, there's a speaker. I see myself as a halt narrative. First person, tiresome. Pronouns sans ante or precedent, warrant or respite. Surrogate for the substantive. Countless form, interestless principle, blind eye blinking at nothing. Who am I? A little Chris de Adente for you. I must compose myself. Look, I'm writing. No, listen, I'm nothing but talk. I won't last long. The odds against my conception were splendid, against my birth excellent, against my continuance favorable, are yet, on the other hand, if my sort are permitted at a certain age and growth, God help us, our life expectancy has been known to increase at an obscene rate instead of petering out. Let me squeak on long enough, I might just live forever. A word to the wise. My beginning was comparatively interesting, believe it or not. Exposition. I was spawned not long ago in the American state and born in no better, grew in no worse, persist in a representative, prohibition, depression, radicalism, decadence, and what have you. An eye, sir, for an eye. It's alleged now that mother was a mere passing fancy who didn't pass quickly enough. There's evidence also that she was a mere novel device, just in style, soon to become a commonplace, to which Dad resorted one day when he found himself by himself with a pointless pen. In either case she was mere. Mom, at any event, Dad dallied. He has me to explain. Bear in mind, I suppose he told her, a child is not its parents, but some of their conjoined shames, a figure of speech, their manner of speaking. No wonder I'm heterodoxical. Nothing lasts longer than a mood. Dad's infuriation passed. I remained. He understood, about time, that anything conceived in so unnatural and fugitive a fashion was apt to be freakish, even monstrous, and an advertisement of his folly. His second thought, therefore, was to destroy me before I spoke a word. He knew how these things work. He went by the book. To expose ourselves publicly is frowned upon, therefore we do it to one another in private. He, me, I, him. One was bound to be the case. What fathers can't forgive is that their offspring receive and sow broadcast their shortcomings. From my conception to the present moment, Dad tried to turn me off, not ardently, not consistently, not successfully so far, but persistently, persistently, with at least half a heart. How do I know? I'm his bloody mirror. Which is to say, upon reflection I reverse and distort him, for I suspect that my true father's sentiments are the contrary of murderous. That one only imagines he begot me, mightn't he be deceived and deadly jealous? In his heart of hearts he wonders whether I mayn't after all be the get of a nobler spirit, taken by beauty past his grasp. Or else, what comes to the same thing to me, I've a pair of dads to match my pair of moms. How account for my contradictions except as the vices of their verses? Beneath self-contempt, I particularly scorn my fondness for paradox. I despise pessimism, narcissism, solepism, truculence, wordplay, pusillanimity. My chiefer inclinations loathe self-loathers, ergo me. Have no self-pity for self-pity, and am free of that sweet baseness. How dead I am. Being me is no joke. I continue the tale of my forebears. Thus my exposer, thus my escape. This cursed me. turned me out, that, curse him, saved me, right hand slipped me through left's fingers. Unless, a third hand I somehow preserved myself, unless, the mercy-killing was successful. Buzzards, let us say, made brunch of me betimes, but couldn't stomach my voice, which persists like the nauseous Danide. We, monstrosities, are easier achieved than got rid of. In sum, I'm not what either parent or I had in mind. One hoped I'd be astonishing, forceful, triumphant, heroical, in other words, one dead. I myself conventional, I turn out I, not every kid thrown to the wolves ends a hero, for each survivor a mountain of beast baits, for every Oedipus a city of Thebes. So much for my dramatic exposition. Seems not to have worked. Here I am, Dad, your creature, your caricature. Unhappily, things get clearer as we get going. I perceive that I have no body. What's less, I've been speaking of myself without delight or alternative, as self-consciousness pure and sour. I declare now that even that isn't true. I'm not aware of myself at all, as far as I know. I don't think I know what I'm talking about. Well, well, being well into my life it's been called, I see well how it'll end, unless some meaningless surprise, if anything dramatic were going to happen to make some successfuler, agreeabler, endurabler. It should have happened by now, we will agree. A change for the better still isn't unthinkable. Miracles can be cited, but the odds against a wireless Deus ex machina aren't encouraging. Here, a confession. Early on, I too aspired to immortality, assumed I'd be beautiful, powerful, loving, loved, at least commonplace, anyhow human. Even the revelation of my several defects, absence of presence to name one, didn't fetch me right to despair. Crippledness affords its own heroisms, does it not? Heroes are typically gimpish, are they not? But your crippled hero is one thing, a bloody hero after all. Your heroic cripple another, etc., 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 etc. Being an ideal's warped image, my fancy's own twist figure, is what undoes me. I wonder if I repeat myself. One-track minds may lead to their origins. Perhaps I'm still in utero, hung up in my delivery. My exposition and the rest merely foreshadow what's to come, the argument for an interrupted pregnancy. Womb, coffin, can, in any case, from my viewless viewpoint, I see no point in going any further. Since Dad, among his other failings, failed to end me when he should have, I'll turn myself off this instant. Can't. Then if anyone hears me speaking from here inside like a swank submariner, and has the means to my end, I pray him to do us both a kindness. Didn't. Very well, my ace in the hole. Father, have mercy, I dare you. Wretched old fabricator, where's your shame? Put an end to this for pity's sake. Now! Now! So, my last trump, and I blew it. Not much in the way of a climax, more a climacteric. I'm not the dramatic sort. May the end come quietly then, without my knowing it, in the course of any breath, in the heart of any word. This one. This one. Perhaps I'll have a posthumanist cautionary value, like gibbeted corpses, pickled freaks. Self-preservation, it seems, may be the smell of formaldehyde. A proper ending wouldn't spin out so. I suppose it might have managed things to better effect, in spite of the old boy. Too late now. Basket case. Waste. Shark up some memorable last words, at least. There seems to be time. Nonsense, I'll mutter to the end, one word after another, string the rascals out, mad or not, hurt or not. My last words will be my last words.